Hey everybody, Mark Walters from BigFanBoy.com here once again at San Diego Comic-Con, and now I have with me Erik Sharkey. Erik is the director of Drew the Man Behind the Poster, which we've been showing you guys a lot about here. And this, I was so thrilled, first of all, to find out that you guys were coming here with this and that you were premiering it here with this. And I know this has been a long and personal journey for you. And I mean, to be able to have this be where everybody gets to see it the first time, I would imagine that's like a magical thing,
Oh yeah, it's amazing. I mean, this is my third time at Comic-Con, and this is the exact place where you're going to find people who know Drew's work, love it, appreciate it. I mean, we did a panel, Friday night, it was packed. We had Thomas Jane, Sam Witwer, Dean DeBoer, who wrote the director of How to Train Your Dragon, and the amount of love and affection that came from that audience for Drew. And the amount of affection that we're getting at these screens. I mean, people really connect with his work, and they have such a nostalgia for it. So yeah, Comic-Con's the perfect place for these people.
I only bring this up because Drew brought it up, so I guess it's been a little bit. This was something that was born out of some tragedy for you, and made it a much more personal project. Can you tell people the beginnings of this and why you wanted to make this?
Well, as a
get ready to cry.
Mike.
Did.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty amazing story because I mean obviously I'm a childhood fan of his. I grew up identifying with his posters, and I actually years ago I had a fiance and she was an illustrator. Her dream was to be an illustrator, and that's how we met in art school together. And she was such an admirer of Drew's work, just like I was. In fact, I got her into it because she would talk about Geiger and other illustrators, and I'd be like, no, Drew. And then once she said, oh, I don't know what that is. I said, Back to the Future, Star Wars, of course, And she was my best friend, and she worked in the World Trade Center. She was killed on September 11th. I worked right across the street, so I was down there the whole thing. And it completely changed my whole life. I had a job that I didn't like. I did audiovisual work. I really didn't like it. And I guess I was like dead inside. So I wanted to find some way to find passion or inspiration, And I came up with this idea about making a movie about Drew because I just wanted to get into his art. I wanted to know more about him, more about his art. And through this process, I got to interview all these people like Harrison Ford and George Lucas and Michael J. Fox. People who were like real heroes to me. They're inspiring. And through the process, it really just brought back my passion for life, for art. And like I was saying at the panel, I know firsthand how powerful art is, because when you're going through something really hard, it's like when you're really down, you hear that great song, and it lets you know, all right, somebody else feels the way I do, or it inspires you. So making this movie, I don't know, it's brought me back, and in that process, I've really bonded with Drew. Drew knows about that story, and he brought it up at the panel, which I was really not expecting.
You didn't see that coming?
No, it's all of a sudden I had to tell the story in front of 700 strangers, but the outpouring of emotion that came from people that identify with it in some way, even if they don't identify with what I would, they identify going through something hard and feeling a connection to this thing. It's more than just pop culture stuff. These movies, these painters, these artists, they mean something because they're putting themselves out there. We can all connect in the same way.
Yeah, we were talking the other night. We were having drinks, and we were saying how, like I was saying, when I was a kid, I was always an artist, but my parents would take me to museums, and I didn't really have much interest in fine art. But we would go to the movie theater, and I would just be glued to studying Drew's posters, and they were like, why are you looking at that poster? Because it's telling the story, and it's so fascinating. And I think one of the things that's very interesting about this particular documentary is the fact that for people out there who are artists, whether they're accomplished or aspiring, it is a very inspirational tale to realize where Drew came from and what he was able to do. And he wasn't a movie guy. He was not into movies at all. So the fact that he became like the premier movie poster artist is kind of a fluke.
And that's what was surprising to me. I made the assumption, he must have been like me and grew up on comic books and magazines and loved like monster movies and stuff. And he was like, no, it was a job. I kind of fell into it. But, you could tell the joy in him when he talks about certain jobs. He talks about working with Lucas and Star Wars and Indiana Jones. I mean, you'll see in the movie, he poses as Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
He wears that outfit, and that's him posing for Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
You know, but you are right. He just wanted to be an artist, and he kind of fell into it. And I think the beautiful thing is that he had to struggle. You know, there's something amazing about working hard and developing your talent. You know, nowadays with a lot of reality TV and this and that, everybody wants to be like an overnight star. He worked at it. You know, he had a skill level and he kept going, and he still works at it. He's still learning, and there's a heart and soul in Drew's work that is a part of his personality. So it's more than just technique and study. There's a lot of heart, there's a lot of soul, and I think that's why when you see like people copy Drew, they just get the technique, but there's always something missing.
It doesn't have that spirit that Drew's worked at. It's really amazing. All right, so listen, guys, if you want more information, you can go to drewthemovie.com, and we're actually going to give you guys a chance to win a signed movie poster, but you got to go see the movie to make that happen. So where could people, I mean, like right now it's playing in Reading Cinemas.
Right, here in San Diego.
Is there what's going on like as far as more rollout at this point?
Yeah, it's rolling out pretty much every week, every other week. You can see the screening schedule on our website, drewthemovie.com.
And it is playing in Dallas, Texas. Love it.
Right. Dallas is like July 28th, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's also coming out in Albuquerque like in a week or two. Richmond, Virginia, August 2nd. And my hometown, New York, on August 16th, it plays for a week at a really great art house called Cinema Village in the city. So.
Yeah, very, very cool. Erik, listen, this experience of like hanging out with you guys and everything, it's been magical. I've loved every second of it.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you guys brought this here. It means a lot. So Erik Sharkey is the director. Drew, the man behind the poster, is the movie. Go check it out. We'll have more information for you guys down below. And thank you so much.
No, thank you for all your support. It's always great to meet another Drew fan.
Absolutely.